Once upon a time, in a small maplewood village among rolling hills, lived a young girl named Julia. She was a curious and adventurous soul, who loved exploring the countryside. One sunny morning, Julia decided to go for a walk in the forest near her village. As she wandered deeper into the woods, she stumbled upon a hidden path she had never noticed before. Intrigued, she followed it, eager to see where it led. As she walked along the winding path, Julia heard the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves. The air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers, and the sunlight filtered through the canopy of trees, creating dappled patterns on the forest floor. After walking for what felt like hours, Julia came upon a clearing in the forest. In the center of the clearing stood a quaint little cottage, surrounded by blooming flowers and tall trees. Smoke billowed from the chimney, and the sound of laughter drifted through the air. Curious, Julia approached the cottage and knocked on the door. To her surprise, it swung open, revealing a kindly old woman standing inside. "Hello, dear," the woman said with a warm smile. "I have been expecting you." Julia was taken aback. "You have?" she asked, puzzled. "Yes, indeed," the woman replied. "I am the guardian of this enchanted forest, and I have been watching over you since you entered. I sense that you are seeking something, dear child." Julia nodded, feeling a sense of excitement building within her. "I want to learn to speak English better," she admitted. "I want to be able to communicate with people from all over the world." The old woman's eyes twinkled with understanding. "Oh, I see," she said. "Well, you have come to the right place. In this forest there is a magical fountain that grants wishes. If you drink from its waters and speak your desire aloud, it will be granted." Eagerly, Julia followed the woman to the edge of the clearing, where a sparkling fountain stood. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and made her wish. "I wish to speak English fluently," she said, her voice clear and confident. As she spoke, the waters of the fountain began to shimmer and glow. Suddenly, a warm sensation washed over Julia, filling her with a newfound sense of confidence and clarity. When she opened her eyes, she found herself back in the village square, surrounded by familiar faces. But something was different. She could feel the words flowing effortlessly from her lips, and she knew that her wish had been granted. From that day forward, Julia continued to explore the world around her, confident in her ability to communicate with others. And whenever she needed a reminder of the magic that had transformed her life, she simply closed her eyes and listened to the sound of the forest whispering her name. One day, as Julia was walking through the village, she noticed a group of travelers passing through. Intrigued by their foreign accents and unfamiliar language, she felt a surge of excitement. With newfound confidence in her English-speaking abilities, Julia approached the travelers and struck up a conversation. To her delight, she found herself effortlessly communicating with them, sharing stories of her adventures in the enchanted forest, and learning about their own journeys. They laughed and smiled, exchanging words of friendship and understanding. As the sun began to set, The travelers bid Julia farewell and continued on their way. But the encounter left a lasting impression on her. She realized that the ability to speak English had opened up a whole new world of possibilities for her. No longer confined to the boundaries of her village. She could now connect with people from all walks of life, from distant lands and different cultures. Inspired by her newfound confidence, Julia decided to embark on her own adventure. She packed a small bag with essentials and set off into the unknown, eager to explore the world beyond the familiar sights and sounds of her village. Along the way, she encountered kind strangers who welcomed her into their homes and shared their stories with her. She marveled at the diversity of landscapes and cultures she encountered, from bustling cities to serene countryside, from towering mountains to vast oceans. With each new experience, Julia's English-speaking skills grew stronger and her confidence soared. She found joy in the simple act of conversation, in connecting with others, and sharing in their experiences. As she journeyed across the globe, Julia discovered that the true magic of language lies not just in words themselves, but in the connections they create between people. Through her adventures, she forged friendships that transcended borders and language barriers, forming bonds that would last a lifetime. And so, armed with nothing but her curiosity and her newfound language skills, Julia continued on her journey, eager to see where the road would take her next. For she knew that no matter where she went, she would always carry with her the magic of English speaking, opening doors and hearts wherever she went.